The small industrial town near Manchester was a place of grey skies and hard work. Emily Waters stood by the kitchen window, her reflection showing a young woman with tired eyes and determination etched into every line of her face. At 28, she carried the weight of 2 jobs and the responsibility of raising her 6-year-old son, Tommy. The tiny apartment felt more like a survival shelter than a home. Peeling wallpaper and a worn-out carpet told stories of struggle. Every morning began with the same routine, preparing Tommy for school while juggling her cleaning job and evening waitressing shifts. Tommy was a bright-eyed boy with his mother's resilience. He wore hand-me-down clothes and shoes that were slightly too small, but his smile never faded. He knew things were tough, but he didn't fully understand how much his mother sacrificed. The alarm clock was Emily's most consistent companion. At 5:30 a.m. it would buzz, signaling the start of another challenging day. She would carefully make Tommy's lunch, usually a simple sandwich and a piece of fruit she could barely afford. Her own breakfast was often just a cup of cheap instant coffee. Her first job was cleaning offices downtown, large corporate buildings where she moved silently between desks, invisible to most employees. Her cleaning cart was her companion, filled with supplies and the weight of her unspoken dreams. Each room she cleaned represented a small victory, another day of providing for her son. The afternoon brought a brief moment of relief when she would pick Tommy up from school. His excitement about his day would momentarily wash away her exhaustion. They would walk home together, Tommy chattering about his friends and school activities, while Emily listened, storing each moment as a precious memory. Evening meant her second job at the local pub. The smell of fried food and beer would cling to her uniform. Customers came and went, some kind, some indifferent. Emily would smile and serve, her feet aching from hours of standing. Tips were sometimes her only extra income, each coin carefully collected and saved. Late at night, after Tommy was asleep, Emily would sit at the small kitchen table. Bills spread out before her like a complicated puzzle. Electricity, rent, food, school supplies, each demanded attention. Her calculator would work overtime, trying to make impossible mathematics possible. The heating was often minimal. Emily would wrap Tommy in extra blankets, ensuring he stayed warm while she wore an extra layer herself. Her phone remained disconnected most months, a luxury they couldn't afford. Communication happened through borrowed moments and carefully planned interactions. Despite everything, Emily maintained hope. She would read to Tommy every night, her voice creating worlds far beyond their small apartment. Books from the local library became their escape, stories of adventure, possibility, and hope. Tommy would listen, his imagination creating landscapes where their struggles didn't exist. Her family was distant. Her parents had passed away years ago, and her single aunt lived in another town, struggling with her own challenges. Emily had learned early that survival meant depending on herself. She didn't believe in waiting for miracles. She created her own opportunities. Tommy's school was another source of quiet stress. She worried about his future, about providing him with opportunities she never had. Each report card was carefully reviewed, each achievement celebrated, no matter how small. Education, she believed, was Tommy's ticket to a better life. On weekends, when most people relaxed, Emily would take extra cleaning shifts or help at the local market. Her reputation grew as a reliable, hard-working woman. People started recognizing her determination, her quiet strength that refused to be broken by circumstances. Her dreams weren't extravagant: a stable job, a comfortable home, and a chance for Tommy to grow and learn. These were her most significant aspirations. She didn't ask for luxury, just a fair chance to build a good life. The community center stood like a beacon of hope in the middle of the industrial town. Its bulletin board was filled with various notices, but one particular job posting caught Emily's attention: part-time administrator, a position that seemed almost too good to be true. Rachel, Emily's closest friend, found her staring at the notice during their quick lunch break. They sat in a small cafe, the steam from cheap coffee rising between them. "You should apply," Rachel said, her voice firm and encouraging. Tommy was at school, and for a moment, Emily allowed herself to dream. The job description seemed straightforward: basic computer skills, administrative experience, ability to multitask. Emily's heart raced. She had years of experience managing impossible schedules, but her confidence was as fragile as thin glass. Years of rejection had taught her to expect the worst. That evening, after tucking Tommy into bed, Emily began preparing her application. Her hands shook slightly as she typed. The old computer in the corner of their apartment hummed with effort, almost as if supporting her dream. Each word felt like a small rebellion against her current circumstances. Rachel helped her practice interview questions. They sat at the kitchen table, Tommy's coloring books pushed to one side. "Tell me about your strengths," Rachel would say, and Emily would practice her response. Her voice grew stronger with each repetition. The application required a detailed work history. Emily carefully listed her cleaning jobs, her waitressing experience. She wrote about managing household expenses, caring for Tommy, surviving against overwhelming odds. These weren't just jobs, they were survival skills. Her only good blouse was carefully washed and ironed. Emily spent hours ensuring every crease was perfect. It was an old blouse, slightly faded, but it represented her best self. Tommy watched her preparation with curious eyes, sensing something important was happening. The night before the interview, sleep was impossible. Emily reviewed potential questions, imagining different scenarios. She thought about Tommy, about the opportunities this job could create for him. Her motivation was no longer just about herself, but about giving her son a better future. Morning arrived with nervous energy. Emily dropped Tommy at school, her movements careful and deliberate. Her friend Rachel had offered to watch him after school if she got the job. Support came in small, meaningful packages in their community. The community center was a large brick building that seemed to hold countless stories. Emily walked up the steps, her heart beating fast. The receptionist smiled, directing her to the interview room. She carried a folder with her carefully prepared documents. 3 people sat behind a long table. They looked professional, slightly intimidating. Emily took a deep breath. She thought about all the difficult customers she had served, all the challenges she had overcome. This was just another challenge. The interview questions were straightforward. They asked about her experience, her ability to manage multiple tasks. Emily spoke about Tommy, about her work ethic, about her determination. She didn't beg. She presented herself as a capable, committed professional. One of the interviewers, an older woman with kind eyes, seemed particularly interested in Emily's story. She asked about her current jobs, her aspirations. Emily spoke honestly about her desire to create a better life for her son. Hours felt like days as Emily waited for a response. She continued her usual routine, cleaning, waitressing, caring for Tommy. But something had changed. A small spark of hope had been lit during that interview. Tommy sensed the change. "Are you okay, Mum?" he would ask, noticing her distant smile. Emily would kiss him, holding him close. Her love for him was her greatest strength, her most powerful motivation. Days passed. Emily tried not to think about the job, but hope is a persistent thing. It whispers, it lingers, it refuses to be completely silenced. Every mailbox visit became a moment of potential transformation. Her current jobs continued, the cleaning work, the evening shifts at the pub. But something felt different. Emily walked with a new confidence, a quiet certainty that her life was about to change. The industrial town continued its rhythmic life, factories humming, people moving between work and home. But for Emily, everything was suspended in a moment of anticipation, a small opportunity, a potential path to something better. And in the corner of their small apartment, beside Tommy's drawings and her carefully prepared interview folder, hope continued to grow, quiet, persistent, unbreakable. The waiting was torture. Emily's nerves stretched thin like an overstretched rubber band. Every day after dropping Tommy at school, she would check her messages, her email, hoping for some news about the job. Competition was fierce. She knew other candidates were probably more qualified, with better educational backgrounds and newer clothes. The industrial town had limited opportunities, and everyone wanted a stable job. Emily understood this reality better than most. Mr. Thompson, the community center manager, had been part of her interview panel. She remembered his kind eyes, the way he listened carefully when she spoke about her experiences. But kindness didn't guarantee employment. Emily had learned that lesson too many times. Her current jobs continued without mercy. Cleaning offices during the day, waiting tables at night. Each shift felt like a test of her endurance. Tommy would sometimes ask why she worked so much, and she would smile, hiding her exhaustion. Rachel became her support system. "They'd be crazy not to hire you," she would say, helping Emily practice interview techniques during their lunch breaks. Her friend's confidence was a lifeline, a small beacon of hope in uncertain times. The community center job represented more than just employment. It was a chance for stability, for a predictable schedule, for a future. Emily imagined healthcare benefits, regular hours, a chance to spend more time with Tommy. Her current work uniform was a testament to her struggle. Cleaning supplies hung from her cart. Pub stains marked her work clothes. Each piece of clothing told a story of survival, of hard work, of a mother's determination. Tommy remained her greatest motivation. His school reports were improving, but he needed proper shoes, better books, more opportunities. Emily would look at him sleeping and feel both exhaustion and incredible love. Days turned into weeks. The waiting became a silent companion. Emily tried to remain positive, but doubt would creep in during quiet moments. What if she wasn't good enough? What if this opportunity slipped away? Her interview preparation continued. Rachel would ask unexpected questions, helping Emily build confidence. "Tell me about a challenging situation you've overcome," she would say, and Emily would share stories of managing impossible schedules. The industrial town seemed to watch her journey. Neighbors would ask about the job, offering silent support. In a community where everyone understood struggle, hope was a collective experience. Financial pressure remained constant. Electricity bills arrived, rent demanded payment, Tommy's school needs continued. Emily's budget was a delicate balancing act, every penny carefully calculated. One particularly cold morning, just as Emily was preparing Tommy's lunch, her phone rang. The number was unfamiliar. Her hands trembled as she answered. Mr. Thompson's voice was professional but warm. "We've reviewed all applications," he began, and Emily's heart stopped. Every moment of her life seemed to hang in this conversation. Interview panel had been impressed by her honesty, her demonstrated work ethic. They appreciated her real-world experience, her ability to manage multiple responsibilities. Emily listened, scarcely breathing. Tommy watched her from the kitchen, sensing something important was happening. His small hands clutched his school bag, waiting. Mr. Thompson continued explaining details about the potential job. Part-time initially, with possibilities of growth. The salary was modest but stable. Healthcare benefits, predictable hours. Emily's mind raced. She thought about Tommy's future, about potential opportunities. This wasn't just a job, it was a potential pathway to a different life. The conversation felt surreal. Professional discussions about work schedules, responsibilities mixed with Emily's internal emotional tornado. Years of struggle, of hard work, of determined survival had led to this moment. "We would like to offer you the position," Mr. Thompson finally said. The words hung in the air, transforming everything. Tommy ran to hug her, sensing joy before understanding its source. Emily's tears mixed with her son's excited laughter. One phone call had potentially changed their entire trajectory. The industrial town continued its rhythm outside their window. Factories hummed. People moved between work and home. But inside their small apartment, a miracle was unfolding. Hope had found its moment. Emily's journey wasn't just about getting a job. It was about proving that determination, love, and hard work could create unexpected opportunities. The letter arrived on a crisp Tuesday morning. Tommy's excited fingers helped Emily open the official envelope, their hands shaking with anticipation. Mr. Thompson's signature confirmed what they had hoped for. She got the job at the community center. Her first week was a whirlwind of new experiences. The small office became her sanctuary, a place where her skills could finally shine. Computer keyboards clicked under her experienced fingers, spreadsheets transformed from intimidating documents to manageable tasks. The community center felt different from her previous workplaces. No more cleaning dirty offices or serving late-night pub customers. Here she was respected. Mr. Thompson saw something special in her, a determination that went beyond typical job expectations. Tommy's excitement was infectious. He would ask about her new job every evening, listening intently as she described her daily tasks. His pride was evident in the way he told his school friends about his mum's new role. Financial stability began to feel real. The modest salary meant they could finally breathe. No more choosing between paying electricity or buying groceries. Small luxuries became possible. A new pair of shoes for Tommy, a slightly better winter coat for Emily. Her colleagues quickly recognized her capabilities. Years of managing impossible schedules as a single mother had prepared her for administrative challenges. She was efficient, kind, and incredibly organized. The community center became more than just a workplace. It was a support network, a place of hope for many struggling families. Emily understood this better than most. Her own journey made her empathetic to other people's challenges. Rachel celebrated with her, bringing a small cake to mark the occasion. "You did it," she would say, hugging Emily tightly. Their friendship had been a constant through years of struggle. Tommy's school performance improved. The stress of financial uncertainty began to lift. Emily could now help him with homework, without worrying about her next shift. She could attend school meetings, become more involved in his education. Mr. Thompson recognized her potential quickly. Additional responsibilities came her way, coordinating community programs, managing schedules, supporting other families facing similar challenges. Emily approached each task with quiet determination. The small apartment slowly transformed. Few new curtains, a second-hand bookshelf for Tommy's growing book collection. These weren't just decorations. They were symbols of progress, of hope, of positive change. Her work uniform changed from cleaning overalls and pub aprons to professional office attire. Each morning she would carefully iron her clothes, a ritual of transformation. Tommy would watch, admiring how different she looked. The community began to see her differently. No longer just another struggling single mother, but a capable professional making a difference. Her story inspired others, a testament to hard work and perseverance. Financial planning became a possibility, not just a distant dream. Emily opened a small savings account for Tommy's future. Each deposit felt like a victory against years of financial struggle. Her confidence grew with each passing week. The woman who once feared job interviews now coordinated entire community programs. Mr. Thompson often praised her ability to connect with people, to understand their needs. Tommy's world expanded. After-school activities became possible. A music lesson here, a sports club there. Small opportunities that were previously unimaginable now felt within reach. The industrial town continued its rhythm, but Emily's life had found a new melody. Her story wasn't just about getting a job. It was about transformation, about proving that determination could overcome seemingly impossible obstacles. Winter approached, but this year felt different. Warm clothes, a stable income, hope for the future. Tommy would draw pictures of their new life, his imagination filled with possibilities. Emily would look at her son during quiet evenings, remembering their previous struggles. Tears would sometimes come, not of sadness but of overwhelming gratitude. They had survived. They had thrived. The community center became more than a workplace. It became a symbol of hope, of what was possible when opportunity met preparation. Emily's journey inspired others, silent proof that hard work could create miracles. As Christmas approached, Emily and Tommy decorated their small apartment. Each decoration represented a milestone, a memory of their incredible journey. Their laughter filled the room, a sound of pure, unbreakable joy. One job had changed everything. But it wasn't just about employment. It was about hope, about believing in possibilities, about never giving up. 1 year passed like a beautiful dream. Emily's life had transformed completely. The community center became more than a workplace. It was her second home, her platform for creating real change. Her promotion came unexpectedly. Mr. Thompson recognized her exceptional skills in coordinating. community programs. She now helped other single parents find support, resources, and opportunities. Her own journey became a blueprint for hope. Tommy's world expanded dramatically. His grades improved significantly. The stress of financial uncertainty had disappeared, replaced by possibilities. He joined the school debate club, discovered a love for reading, and started dreaming bigger. The small apartment they once struggled in was now replaced by a comfortable two-bedroom flat. Bookshelves lined the walls, filled with Tommy's books and family photographs. Each corner told a story of their incredible journey. Emily's work at the community center became legendary. She developed programs supporting working parents, creating networks of support. Her understanding came from personal experience. She knew exactly what struggling families needed. Rachel remained her closest supporter. Their friendship had grown stronger through Emily's transformation. They would often meet for coffee, discussing community initiatives and Tommy's progress. Their bond was unbreakable. The annual community gathering became a significant event. Mr. Thompson publicly praised Emily's journey, using her story to inspire others. Parents would approach her, seeking advice, seeing her as a beacon of hope. Tommy watched his mother with immense pride. At 12 years old, he understood the magnitude of her achievement. He saw how hard work, determination, and love could transform lives. Financial stability allowed new experiences. Summer camps, educational resources, small family trips became possible. Tommy's world opened up in ways he never imagined during their struggling years. Emily's appearance changed subtly. The constant exhaustion disappeared, replaced by confidence and joy. Her smile became brighter, her eyes more hopeful. She looked like a woman who had conquered her challenges. The community center expanded its programs, with Emily playing a crucial role. She developed initiatives supporting single parents, creating job training workshops, and offering emotional support. Her relationship with Tommy grew deeper. No longer just survival partners, they became true companions. Weekend trips, shared. Books, long conversations about life and dreams, filled their home with warmth. Local schools began inviting Emily to speak about resilience. Her story inspired students, showed them the power of determination. She became a role model, proving that circumstances do not define destiny. Tommy's academic performance continued to improve. Scholarships became a possibility. He started dreaming about university, something that seemed impossible just a few years earlier. The industrial town watched Emily's transformation. She became a symbol of hope, proof that hard work and love could create miracles. People would stop her on the street, sharing their own stories of struggle and inspiration. Her work extended beyond the community center. She became a mentor, a support system for countless families. Her understanding came from a place of genuine experience, not just professional training. Financial planning became a serious consideration. Emily opened a university fund for Tommy, started thinking about long-term goals. The uncertainty that once defined their life had completely disappeared. Rachel's support remained constant. They continued their tradition of weekly coffee meetings, now discussing Tommy's achievements and Emily's community projects. Their friendship was a testament to true support. The annual community gathering became a celebration of transformation. Emily would stand on stage, Tommy by her side, sharing their journey. Their story became a powerful message of hope and resilience. Mr. Thompson considered Emily more than an employee. She was a valued colleague, a true community leader. Her initiatives had transformed the community center's approach to supporting families. Tommy's perspective on life had changed dramatically. He understood the value of education, hard work, and perseverance. His mother's journey had become his most important life lesson. As another year approached, Emily would look back on their journey with gratitude. From struggling single mother to community leader, her transformation was complete. But more importantly, she had created opportunities for her son. Their small apartment, once a symbol of struggle, was now a home of hope. Photographs, books, and memories lined the walls, a beautiful testament to their incredible journey. Hope, Emily realized, was not just a word. It was a choice, a daily commitment to believe in possibilities, and she had chosen hope every single day. As winter approached, bringing colder temperatures and higher bills, Emily's resolve remained unshaken. She would look at Tommy sleeping peacefully and know that every challenge was worth facing. Her love was her strongest weapon, her hope her most valuable resource. The town might see her as just another struggling single mother, but Emily knew she was so much more. She was a fighter, a provider, a dreamer. And in her small apartment against the backdrop of industrial chimneys and grey skies, she was creating her own story of survival and hope.